Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your host, Delano, on the FanWire podcast. We're about to break some very important news. Uh, we have the Mystics trade prediction episode here on the FanWire podcast. Don't forget, stop what you're doing right now. Subscribe to the FanWire podcast. Like this video so that we can train the algorithm to bring you and others all of this great content. All right, so right now, we're going to talk about the Washington Mystics and our trade predictions. If you've already watched our previous WNBA video about reserve contracts or reserve qualification contracts, we pretty much predicted the entire cycle. Go back and watch it. We dropped it the very day before those players were designated reserve contracts. So when we shoot, we don't miss here at the FanWire podcast. So this will be our prediction for the Washington Mystics trades either before the season begins or before the trade deadline. Some things are going to happen. Some people have to get moved. Okay? If you're not aware, we have a new general manager. We have a new coach. Our new general manager is Jamila Wideman. And as you can see, I'm a Washington Mystics fan. I'm right here in the DMV. So we're going to talk and watch the Mystics. So Jamila Wideman is our new GM. And she has, they have yet to really introduce her along with new coach, Sidney Johnson. So we have to really see what direction we're going to go. But before they were brought on, upper leadership from Monumental Sports stated that, hey, the Washington Mystics are going to pretty much get younger. We're going to develop talent, and we're going to move forward. So at least we know that baseline, right? So with knowing that, we know that the team has to get younger. And if that's the case, people have to get moved. Okay. Also, we already know that the off season of 2025 is going to be monumental, right? No pun on the name, but it's going to be monumental, right? So that means that let's see here. Lost connection with my camera. I was rolling. All right. Let's get back to it. The camera is back. So we're just going to keep on rolling. All right. So we know that Monumental Sports has made it clear that what direction the team is going to go at a baseline, right? So that means players have to get moved. With that being said, you have an article that came out from let's see here, Hardwood Heroics. Okay, and in this article, they stated that at least two veterans would need to be moved from the Washington Mystics. And we have already started researching this prior to even seeing this article because we knew what had to happen, right? But they said two veterans need to be moved. I really think it's going to be a fire sale. They're going to get from under these contracts because Reason being, there's a lot of quality players that will be available this offseason, but next season, that's the great reset for the whole WNBA. So if your team is not into position to make a change and a change for the better, this all season is to set you up for 2026. Because literally, if we don't sign another player, right, and we keep our team steadfast the way it is, we will only have 3 players under contract for the Washington Mystics in 2026. That's Aaliyah Edwards. That is, give me a second here. I got to pull up my information here. Okay, that will be Aaliyah Edwards. That will be Zakia Cone and Jade Melbourne. And for some, you're like, hey, what happened to Shakira Austin? No, she will be a restricted free agent. And with that being said, we still have some level of control whether if we want to try to retain Shakira, if she has a breakout season, which I really, really believe she will, because she's down in the unrivaled basketball league that's going on right now, that 3-on-3 league, and she is looking in super shape. She is looking good. She just has to stay healthy. If she can produce, because she is a walking double-double, if she can produce like she normally does, or even better, and if she's able to stay healthy, oh, she's gonna get her bag. She's gonna get her contract. It's just a matter of if it's gonna be with us, with the Washington Mystics, or with another team. Because there will be other teams that will be trying to secure her services. But just like anybody that's going to sign a deal this year, they will be signing a 1-year deal because there is a lot of new money that's coming in 2026. That's why the players ripped up the CBA and said, hey, we need to go back to the negotiating table because we're not going to let y'all get all this money and we are stuck getting paid peanuts. It's not going to happen. They're extremely smart, brilliant women. Good job, ladies. And also using Unrivaled as a negotiating ploy. Brilliant. But we are here to talk about the Washington Mystics and the trade predictions that we have set for 2025. Right? All right. So there are 4 players that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Carly Samuelson first. All right. So Carly Samuelson is a guard that has a lethal jump shot, right? She has some athleticism. She can move without the ball. She can initiate offense if needed. She's currently going to be making $118,450 this season. Okay, but she will be an unrestricted free agent in 2026. So it is very important to be able to get value for anyone that you don't see in your future plans. Carly Samuelson, she could be a very, very strong asset for a team that needs extra shooting, right? So we can get draft capital. We can get a younger player because she is currently 29, right? She's about to be 30, right? But she's a 6-foot guard that's 160 pounds. So she's a taller guard, right? So she can definitely help out a number of playoff caliber teams or our elite teams that vie for championships, right? So we can definitely probably get a good draft pick, maybe, player in a second round pick for Carly, right? Or we may keep her because even if we're having a younger team, we still need a veteran presence on the team, right? So Carly, I project that they will attempt to retain her services, right? But the problem is there's no guarantee that she's going to resign in 2026. So do you get off of the contract and get value, or do you hope and pray that you're able to retain Carly Samuelson, right? Number 2, we have Stephanie Dawson, Big Mama. Stephanie Dawson is a center that's really a stretch 5 because she can do her thing down low if need be, or she can stretch out to that 3 and splash that thing, right? So Stephanie Dawson has competed in 3-point contests for the WNBA, and that shows you have to be a high level 3-point shooter. You're not going to be in that 3-point contest unless you can really flat out shoot, right? Additionally, Stephanie Dawson is going to be 33, or is 33. And she'll be making $170,000 in 2025. She's 6'5", 235 pounds. Yeah, big mom. But unfortunately, it's a good thing for Stephanie Dawson, she will be an unrestricted free agent coming 2026. There's another one, right? So, she will be a stellar pickup for a championship level team. And we've already identified a team that she could possibly go to, but that will be told to you all in a later video. Get ready, because we're going to drop that on you too. That might be another prediction that's going to pop off, right? But anyway, she's going to be an unrestricted free agent. No telling if she wants to come back. Who knows? But we do know that she has value. You have to take advantage of your situations and move strategically so that you can move the team forward, right? So, draft capital, younger player, and then also another thing too, getting a younger player that is on a deal that stretches past 2026, right? Because if you get a younger player that has a contract that stretches past 2026, that player is going to be locked into old money, right? So that means you will have more money to spend on better players, right? So we also will have 2 slots that I foresee coming onto the team from the draft. We have 4 draft picks. If I was playing spades, I got 2 and a possible. So my 2 first-round draft picks, I project that they should make the team as long as they do right in training camp. And then our second-round pick or our third-round pick, they will be fighting for that last spot. Okay. But we'll see who we pick up in the draft. And of course, we're going to break that down and who we most likely will get. I have my favorites, but I have to give you my analysis and not my favorite. Right? Because our analysis, our pinpoint, unbiased, and we're going to get straight to it. Right? But anyway, next up, we're going to talk about Brittany Sykes, the extra athletic defensive stopper that can hit a J and take it to the rack. She's currently making $195,000 for this upcoming 2025 season. She's 30. Okay. She's 5'9", 154 pounds. Right? If I was a GM, I would do what I needed to do to keep Britt, because you're going to need a defensive stopper, especially if you're going to be bringing in young talent. You need somebody that's going to be able to instill how to play WNBA defense into your team. She's a tone setter, right? You've already brought Emily Ingston back. Tone set. Let those be the anchors of your defensive tone set, right? And you already got Shakira Austin. Tone set, right? I would do what I needed to do to keep her. I would avoid, if possible, from giving her a max, because she got to score more to get a max. But we'll see how that goes. So let's see here. And with Brittany, yeah, like we said, she's a defensive stopper. She's a killer defense, right? As you can see, she's going through. It looked like she about to touch the rim. Keep Brittany, right? All right. So next up, Miss Ariel Atkins. She's a walking bucket, right? We would love to keep Ariel Atkins, but just like the rest of the four players, the other three players, they all have value, and they can all serve a purpose on another team. They can all also help us get to a place where we can acquire more talent that's younger and cheaper. You know, we want to pay our players, but we're going into a rebuild. This is going to get bad. We're going to have some ugly losses, right? But sometimes you got to fall down and get back up. And this is one of those instances. So Ariel Atkins has done a great job with the Washington Mystics, along within the community. All of these players, I have to say, have been doing a great job with the community, right? But Ariel Atkins, she's 28. She's 5'10", 167 pounds. She plays good D. She can, like I said, she can build up the score sheet, but we would need more, right? But she can definitely help out some teams, right? So even if we kept Brittany Sykes and Ariel Atkins, and we moved off of the contracts for Stephanie Dawson and Carly Samuelson, we would have a good amount of money to pursue another quality player, right? But I really believe that in the draft, we're going to get another guard. So It's just a matter of, are we going to keep Ariel Atkins or Brittany Sykes? Ariel Atkins is a combo guard that is a scoring guard, right? But we don't have a facilitator, right? The facilitator that we had in Van Loo, we let her go in the expansion draft. And with that being said, we need a playmaker. And I'm thinking, right? I'm projecting that we're going to be picking up that player in the draft. We're not going to be signing players unless they are going to be younger players for the future this summer or this spring. I don't project us really being active in free agency at all. At all. Because, like I said, 2026, that's when you go fishing. You just testing out your bait here. You're going fish. You going deep water fishing in 2026, just like every other team, right? There's only, at this point, if the season started today in 2026, there would only be like 26 players or something of that sort that have contracts. So the rest of the league will be free agents, right? Another thing, right? Let's say if we do keep Brittany Sykes and Ariel Atkins, they're both free agents, right? Who do you core? Do you core Brittany Sykes? Or do you core Ariel Atkins? Or do you move one and give value and core the other? Or whichever one is left. And that's even if in the new CBA there are core players. We'll talk about that in another video. Trust me, we got it lined up. All right, so we really, really, really think that we're going to be making some trades this particular season. I think we're going to be moving off of some contracts. I think that either Ariel or Brittany will be gone. It's just a matter of if they will be gone before the season starts or by the trade deadline. I really think that Stephanie Dawson and Carly Samuelson can add value to other teams, especially closer to playoff runs. So they may be gone too. But I definitely know Stephanie is definitely trade bait. Big Mama, we love you. But unfortunately, I think you're going to have to be gone. You know? Unfortunately. But that's what we project. And at this point, we're going to ask that you stop what you're doing. We want you to like the video, subscribe to the FanWire podcast, because when you're part of our community, your family, once you hear your family. So, we're going to be right back at you real soon with another video. But until then, we are out of here. Y'all take it easy.